here in CCS in the regular season. Again, Idaho State 2-0 coming off of conference play. Portland State 0-2 coming out of conference play, going head-to-head on Manfield Night, the only map that we use here on this stream because I'm too lazy to switch it, and it's going to be an early start for ISU. Wasting no time, EJ gets it down. Ultramag finds a 50, turns and fires. 9 seconds gone. Idaho State on the board. Again, expecting the Bengals to really try and add on a fiery start early and might have a second goal already. No, EJ's first look just missed the fall from Adam. No, I'm trying to get a UW game scheduled right now. And again, so want to see more of Portland State again, regardless of how the season goes. Want to see them on this stream, and it's going to be Server who tallies the first one for the Vikings. A miss from EJ. Adams doesn't get enough behind it, and Server just slices right up the middle to tie it up. And I do see the Vikings supporting the roster of Server, Leonidas, and Popo the Panda, of course. Popo being that only name I recognize just because of the long history with the Black Lion Championship Series. And over on the side of Idaho State, looks pretty similar. Looks pretty similar. Already a minute and a half gone, and have seen the Bengals play with a lot of comfort, we'll say. Do not look too worried in this matchup. Again, Idaho State are the heavy favorites for a reason, but still intrigued to see what Portland State can do in this matchup and are competing well. And it's good to see Popo still rocking the dinosaur spines and the panda antenna. Some things just, should never change. Some things are perfect eternally. As Server leaning forward, demo EJ dodges, wave dash to recover and make the save. Adams tries to go middle. Server there into the backboard. Adams will cover. Leonidas back middle. No one there closest second for Portland State. Ultimately for the Vikings, it's going to be a lot of trying to keep clean rotations, trying to match that speed that Idaho State can really show. Don't think we've seen the full brunt of it so far in game one here from the Bengals, and Vikings might take advantage. No, a great save from EJ on his former teammate, and Popo can't put it around the far post side. Back post to Server, trying to take it around. Ultra Mag and Ultra, no boost left in the tank. Server gets two, and Portland State have a lead. May have just jumped a little bit early off the backboard there. Just could not quite find the clearing touch, and Portland State more than happy to start off like this. Did see a lot of early pre-jumping from Idaho State. We'll see if they kind of try and lock things in a little bit more. As Ultramag sees EJ on the back wall, still seeing the three-man passing play, and Idaho State goes straight through the Vikings. Beautifully done. Ultramag to EJ, down to Adams, and nothing left to shut that one down for Portland State. And Idaho State just showing a great bit of composure, collectiveness, and ultimately confidence as well. Sure, both these teams know that Idaho State favored to win this matchup just based off history, just based off what we've seen in the past. Again, Idaho State were almost a tournament team last season, had themselves a good showing, believe technically made it into the postseason. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I was obviously not here, for those of you who know me. Was not here last season, and I was very confused by the mid-majors as that one just narrowly missed for the Vikings. I was unaware that there was mid-majors and other playoff brackets and such before. Yeah, I'm not sure. But ultimately, Idaho State fell to Northern Arizona in the mid-major, whatever that may be, and just missed out on a national tournament appearance. But seen this team make that national tournament before and have been very dangerous, and have been one to really try and take off some of the top teams, and you can see why. Another infield passing play out of the Bengals. Adams nice and patient, pushes it over to Ultramag. Popo just couldn't quite reach it, and the lead right back in the hand of Idaho State. And at the end of the day in this matchup, are just really expecting it to be a more fun matchup between these two teams. As this one top shelf from EJ to get the lead out to another. Ultramag just puts it away, and then server a bit of an awkward touch, and EJ able to snipe that one top shelf. But yeah, again, expecting it to be a pretty good game between these two sides. Ultimately expecting them to have a lot of fun while they're at it, as Adams gonna collect number 5 for Idaho State right off the kickoff, and ultimately Popo hard cheating. It was tough for server to get back, cheated way upfield, and 5-2 Idaho State very much in control. And we'll see if this matchup does continue the trend we've seen for myself in Season 8, and that being that, well, this is going to be the 3rd match we've casted on the season so far. We have not had a match go to 4 games yet. Every single match I've hosted, that being just 3, has been a sweep. And we'll see if that does change. Portland State going to have to try and recuperate and take one off of the Bengals, as EJ makes the nice clear to close things out. And saw some good signs out of Portland State. Idaho just look so comfortable and so confident in what they have to give here in Season 8. Picking up 2 good wins to start the season and looking to continue conference play off right. Looking to stay 3-0. Game 1 steadily collected, and seeing the defense sported by Idaho State as well. 8 saves from them, while also having themselves 14 shots to boot, creating a ton of pressure. Also defending well, what you would come to expect out of this team. So game 2 getting set to go. And very intrigued to see what both sides can do for the rest of conference play. Again, Idaho State, they're going to have themselves an interesting run, as you know, they take on Portland State this week. They have another match this week, and again, it's against an old friend in the Big Sky, the Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona, who very much could be called one of the biggest, if not the biggest, conference rival in CCS for Idaho State, as Ultramag dices through the defense off the pass from Adams. Just a quick little 1-2-1, and Ultramag, good flick to put that one up high under the bar. And then Idaho State go on from taking Portland State and NAU this week, will then go on to take on the Wildcats of Weber State, the reigning regular season champs. Wildcats were, of course, a tournament team last season as well. Did get round one-ed by the Washington State Cougars in the Season 7 National Tournament, as EJ just going to add on another off the rebound right over top Popo. A little bit of salt in the wound versus his former squad mate. And then after taking on Weber State next week, Idaho State will go on to take on Montana State. The Bobcats should be handled on the side of Idaho State. Then the Bengals will take on the Sacramento State Hornets in Week 5, and finally rounding out the regular season with the Idaho Vandals. Idaho versus Idaho State to close it up naturally. We'll see how things shake out for them on the other side. Portland State, they have a very tough doubleheader this week. Of course, having this matchup right here versus Idaho State, who have proved to be ever so dangerous, as Popo just narrowly able to find the save on. Another great 1-2-3 passing play from the Bengals. But so having Idaho State in their first conference game in CCS, and then also having Weber State this same week, the reigning regular season champs. And I DC'd That's terrific. And Leonidas tried to put it away off the dunk. No good, but seemed to be all good. Back in it here in game 2. So again, the Vikings opening up with a very tough schedule. Will get a little bit easier as time goes on, as next week they take on Montana State. That should be a pretty close matchup between the Vikings and the Bobcats. Then in week 4, we'll take on the Idaho Vandals. That should be another interesting showing. Week 5, they'll take on NAU. That'll be another toughie. And then we'll end with Sacramento State, the Hornets. It's going to be tough. It's ultimately going to be tough. There is a lot of very dangerous teams in the Big Sky. And always seem to be those few lurking towards the top, as ultimately we've seen Sac State, Weber State, NAU, and Idaho State all be such dangerous teams in this conference. We've seen Idaho make some good strides late. Montana State have been able to pick up wins here and there. And again, Portland State going into their first season here in the Collegiate Conference Series, they have their work cut out for them. They definitely do. As Ultra Mag booming this one into his own backboard. Leonidas will fire wide. Popo trying to go middle. EJ there to deflect it away. Again, seeing the passing plays continue to come out for Idaho State, really trying to work as a unit to take down this Portland State team. And it's been working so far. 3-0 Ultra Mag. Once again, slightly going toward his own goal. I think he was just setting up the back pass. Popo trying to get it back over to Server, but taken off the field now. Popo demos one, gets demoed. Good mind game from Server, finds the late 50 as well. Leonidas tries to fire it on target. EJ swipes it away. Ultramag trying to lead it towards Adams. Not enough boost left for him. EJ off ceiling. Mag off ceiling as well. Adams looking to just sit there and help out any way he can. Ultramag another big challenge, and Idaho State just look ever so comfy in this matchup. Now just going for highlight reel plays. Ultramag off the ceiling. EJ softly breach of item. Adams was up as well. You want to see if we can get a counter goal out of the Vikings, who try and turn it around. Adams, another big clear. EJ is there. Popo will redirect it back towards Server. EJ looking for Adams again. The pass being a little bit low. Adams still gets it off the backboard. EJ puts it up for Mag, who is... he's back over there. He'll drop it back towards EJ. No wanted. Maybe a psycho there. Server's touch will be again taken away by the Bengals. And Portland State still just trying to hit their stride when it comes to that momentum, as Adams will toss the open net off target. Wanted a better shot on it. Didn't quite get it. Now Ultramag will just take goal number 4 on the open look, as just a sharp bounce around the corner caught Leonidas off guard. Thought that one was maybe going to roll, maybe just stay lower. And Idaho State make it 4-0 here in game 2. Again, saw a couple early goals on the side of Portland State back in game number 1. But game number 2, Idaho State, despite going for what you could call more low percentage plays, are very much staying locked in on the defensive end. Adams takes it out towards the mid boost. Leonidas ends up pinching this one back to Server. 50 boost off the back wall. Gets a little bit of help from Popo to get over one, and Leonidas starts it all the way through from the midfield. And again, Idaho State up 4-1, but seeing these plays come out, a good team play to get it over top one, and then the third crashes in to beat the last man and tally 1 on the board for Portland State. And it looks like our camera angle, what a camera angle. Yeah, this is a good view of EJ. This is, love watching EJ from all the way out here on the moon. I don't understand what happened, but a nice double, and Idaho State will take game 2. Again, seeing this team just make it look nice and easy. Ultramag being a part of every single goal for the Bengals. 2 goals, 2 assists on his 5 shots, and you can see the real pressure difference surmounting from ISU. 9 shots compared to the 2 of Portland State. Ultimately, PSU just trying to find that little more consistency, kick it into higher gear, and really try and turn this thing around, as would love to just take one, eliminate the sweep at that. We'll see if they can get it done. Game number 3, a fresh 5 on the clock. Popo with a good ground pinch. Ultramag will be back in time to deal. Tries a musty out to Adams, who is now in a Roadhog. Missed that on the opening kick. So a nice little card change for Adams. Leonidas, good challenge through the midfield. Server switched his car around a bit. It went from, I believe, Fennec to Octane, now back into Fennec. As Adams out to EJ, lining up the double, just misses off the post. Didn't have a lot of boost left to try and readjust and knock down that rebound. Now Ultramag goes over top. Popo, EJ lurking. Leonidas with a good 50, and Server will have the clear right back out. Server up 4, gets it over Adams. Does he have a double? He does! Server online and active. Over top, one beats another, and his teammate doubles it down to give Portland State the lead. And now Idaho State trailing for the first time in this series. No doubt that the Bengals are absolutely shook. I'm sure of it. Be trying to work their way back. A couple outplays, leaves it for Adams, who once again just sets it under the bar, but this time in the Roadhog to tie us up. 1-1 Leonidas. Just not much you can do on the goal line from that angle. And Idaho State wastes no time getting themselves right back in it. And game number 3. Now they send 2 on the kickoff. Ultramag will follow it by taking the corner boost. Leonidas, good clear out. EJ trying to 50. Gets the 50 up to Mag as he goes way back to a pre-jumping Adams, who lifts it back up for EJ, and a fake comes through, but Leonidas not fooled. Now Ultramag fires, and Leonidas can't quite get back another time. Back to back for the Bengals. And ultimately, you can see this Idaho State team having so much fun finding themselves in these passing plays. Passing plays are one of those things that, as a team, when you're able to execute, can really just be more fun than solo plays. A good solo play is always going to look great, but a passing play, when you're able to really flex that coordination, does wonders. As Ultramag trying to set up the Psycho, wants to get goal number 3 with a little bit of extra spice. Good 50 from Popo off the corner. Server there, shot on target. Popo lurking, and this one just gonna trickle in for Server. It's 2-2. And a great challenge there from Popo, and Server just kind of lobbed it on target. No one able to reach it. EJ tried to cover and reach, but no dice. 3 minutes and change left to go in game number 3. And Idaho State, no doubt, feeling the pressure. And maybe not for much longer, as Adams will put another away in the hog. Leonidas dishes it over towards the corner. Adams immediately snipes it right back on target, and EJ was pre-jumping because why not? Welcome, Roel. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. GG's earlier today as well. And that was another fun game to watch. It's been a while since I had really seen DePaul. I don't know. That might have been my first time casting DePaul, and it was a lot of fun to see, especially versus San Jose State, who historically have been a very solid team. Again, half of game 3 left to go between ISU and PSU, and EJ. What a shot here to extend the lead once again. 4-2. Ultramag slips through the defense, and EJ slots that one top shelf. No one with enough boost to reach it. Again, always going to be a little bit of bragging rights on the line when you're going up against your former teammate. Not sure how in contact both Popo and EJ still are, if they still hang out, play on the regular. Unaware of that. I'm not in their social circle. But definitely, when you're going to cross paths like this in the Collegiate Conference Series, you're always going to hold those couple nice goals over top of them. Always going to have the win first of all. As Ultramag is no longer moving. He's just taking a little bit of a nap. Adams getting bumped. EJ trying to stir his way out. Popo there. Now Server is next. And Ultramag still trying to set up that psycho here in game number 3. A miss from Leonidas will drop it down to Server. Portland State. And just trying to find that higher octane in their offense. Server has been the key piece of it so far tonight for the Vikings. EJ, low boost, spotted by Leonidas, and Server is going to get himself a hattie. 3 away for Server right off the demo from Leonidas. Perfect timing from demo to shot. 3-4. Portland State trailing just by 1. Idaho State, no doubt, going to try and find some more of a cushion. Adams likely wanting a hat trick of his own in that gorgeous Roadhog, but Server almost tallying a 4th there. Leonidas might have the look that he does. Portland State tie it up, wasting not a moment here, as just a good 50. Server caught EJ really off guard with that challenge. Tried to recover in time, but Leonidas, the quicker of the two. 73 seconds on the clock here in game number 3. Could potentially see an overtime looming. Leonidas doesn't want to let it get there. He dials another. Portland State 3 unanswered to claim the lead, trailing by 2, now up by 1 with 1:10 left to go. And Idaho State need to sit up in the chair a little bit. Vikings just looking to shut it down. Need to play great defense now to try and claim a game off of the Bengals. Good beat here. Ultramag turns. Popo, no boost to work with. Ultra just trying to leave it. Flicks it up high for a teammate. Popo able to get there to challenge Adams. And now Mag misses the corner boost. Was going to steal and then turn. Has to give it up. EJ challenges next. Leonidas gets it to Server. Good back and forth passing play. No, it's Popo there on the far side. Portland State, 4 in a row. And the Vikings sieging down on the Bengals. Idaho State was not ready for this explosive offense. And PSU have come out of nowhere to take away game 3. And what can Idaho State do now? Have 35 seconds to score 2. Not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. And Ultramag just going to tell the Vikings to go back to the gym, as goes straight through Popo here on the light 50, and Leonidas can't quite get there. Good to see you as well, Slugger. Oh my goodness, been a hot minute. How are you doing, man? So despite the 2-goal lead for Portland State with under 40 seconds, not set in stone yet. Slugger, appreciate the prime as well. Much love, bud. Ultramag lifts it. Now Ultramag down to EJ, down to Adams. Popo doing a good job cutting off that play. Final 10 seconds of regulation. Idaho State, can they get the one? Adams to EJ towards the backboard. Does he have the double? EJ, no, doubles it straight down into the dirt. Server sets it down. Portland State not done yet. Their first conference game victory and their inaugural season of CCS. What a way to get on the board. 4 unanswered goals on account of the Vikings. And that was also Portland State's first game win of the entire season. Reminder, they got swept back-to-back in non-conference play. And now we'll pick up a win over top Idaho State. And we're going to see Popo hold that over his teammate a little bit there. Football is over. That means baseball's around the corner. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Are you a Seahawks fan? Of course I am. Watched the Super Bowl. Loved every second of it. Well, to be honest, game was a little bit boring. But, yeah. Happy to see the Seahawks win it, go 12. We should have seen Myers get Super Bowl MVP. That's all I'm saying. But we're not focusing on that. It's game 4. Portland State, Idaho State, reverse sweep on the Tides. The ships of the Vikings sailing forward towards that reverse sweep. Ultramag trying to find a late touch here. Popo takes away over to Leonidas. Late touch here. Popo playing the 50 off of EJ. Ultramag already lurking on the far side. Takes his time, goes for the reset. No, it just leaves it for Adams, but Popo with a panda. No remorse on the save. Picks up another. Got some help from Leonidas, who will win himself to the sidewall. Popo trying to outspeed. No, goes under Adams. Ultramag booms, trying to catch Server on the other side. Server quick to the punch. Now EJ will bend the post to put the first one away. And Server just jumping down off the post. Could have stayed right there, but it's just so tough to read, especially with no boost in the tank. Idaho State take the first goal in game number 4. He absolutely did. You're 100% right, Slugger. I mean, there's not much more you can do as a kicker than what he did. Another good 50 from Adams. EJ swiping boost will take away the free look up the wall for Popo. Mag looking middle towards EJ. Server, good interception now. EJ off the sidewall. Popo, did he catch Adams sleeping? He did! A little bit of ferociousness in the panda. Saw an opening, took full advantage. Adams, just that mistiming between turning back and getting too far up, lurking for a challenge. 1-1 again. Portland State showing a great bit of life in this series, and it's especially good to see after getting shut out in game number 2. Put up 4 goals in the final minute and a half of game number 3, and now staying even with the Bengals. No doubt Idaho State still feeling confident that they can put it away, and this is why Ultramag immediately gets the opening. As you can see, Leonidas just panicked a little bit trying to take away the passing play, but Adams had no boost, ends up handing it right over to Mag, and 2-1. Another 1-goal lead for Idaho State, but have to know that that isn't secure, and Ultramag looking to add on to it himself. He does. And is that already a Hattie? No, Mag has 2 of the 3, assisted the other one. But will roll in. Goal number 3 in. Just keeps on extending the Roadhog. Just looks so great on that kickoff shot. It really does. First 2 minutes gone. Now Adams trying to look for a double Leonidas. Good takeaway. Ultramag. I think he's still trying to set up that. Psycho EJ up for it. Adams leaves it for him. Neither player made contact. And it's good to see the Seattle rep in Sechka jump in. Sechka? Dom? 2.5 minutes left to go. Half this game remaining. Portland State have shown a good fight in them. Okay, it is Seika. I didn't think it was going to be Sechka, but yeah. Popo! The Panda strikes again. He's got 2 in this one, and ultimately a great 50 from Server to leave it wide open for Popo. Portland State, again, just not backing down, not going anywhere versus this Idaho State team. Could have rolled over after game 1, after game 2, but look to just getting more consistent, more scary. Connecting with these bumps, with these offensive looks, again, have really picked up the pace since the start of the series, seeming to adapt as time goes on. Versus the Bengals now, Ultramag trying to lob it towards a floating EJ as he pre-jumped, had no boost remaining. Adams has given it to Popo. Popo will be able to Knock it away, and a dangerous pass in! Popo flashing back to, maybe the 14 Kings, maybe the Dream Station days as he dimed up EJ there, played it around server, and EJ gonna let him know with the great passes from old teammates to old teammate. Adding on another, and that one gonna be held a little bit over the head of Popo as he plays it up to the ceiling. Leonidas trying to gather, ends up pinching it with Ultramag. EJ, good recovery, gets it to the Roadhog, into the backboard. Adams double plays it top left. My goodness, the Bengals bearing a bit more teeth here in game number 4. The redirect and the double put it away over top the Vikings. And Idaho State wanting to end this series right here, right now. Again, just seeing the offense matching Portland State. We did see a run of 4 goals in this exact same time span from the Vikings last game. Can PSU do it again? EJ looking for Mag. Mag looking up top for Adams, and he can't quite find the angle off the backboard. EJ chips it middle and still somehow finds Adams through 2. Vikings 6-2 goes the lead. And this one might be too far out of reach. Server might have had a ghost hit there, and Popo just had to try and hope and pray that he was going to be able to read the shot in time. 6-2. No doubt the home stretch for the Bengals. Leonidas, a good chip off the sheet up. And now EJ just taking out Server, who again has looked to be one of, if not the offensive core for this Portland State team. Both him and Popo have had some great bit of offensive looks, and we've seen Leonidas really have the ability to play make and put shots away as well, as lobs this one up. Popo fakes it for Server, bar down to add on another, and every goal is a good goal here for PSU, as again seeing it initially facilitated by Leonidas, lobs it up off the backboard, and then Popo playing as the distracting piece, getting Ultramag to look over there and taken advantage of by Server. But off the kickoff, Ultramag right back, double tap, no off the bar it goes, but Adams will clean up shop, no problem. A high scoring affair here in game number 4. 10 total goals, 7 for Idaho State, now 3 for the Vikings, but every time you see Portland State get a little bit of momentum going, score a nice goal, looks like they are going to be able to start finding themselves maybe a little bit of a run. Idaho State just flex the speed they have and tally another. Maybe something on the far side for Server. EJ intercepts and goes over top Leonidas as well. Adams already lurking all the way down the field as Ultramag bangs it into the corner. Adams looking for a read off his own backboard, still seeing the psycho attempts being tried on the side of Idaho State, and now Server almost off the ceiling into a ground double to find goal number 4. What a way it would have been to end the series, but the end of the series is here. Idaho State will find themselves 3-0 to start season 8